everyone, it's ArtzDeeva. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Well, I don't fully know myself, but I'll try to explain. Let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Hear the people call my name, hear 'em on the Hall of Fame, unveil the rumbling trails of hustle and Jacob Lee John.
Ah yes, quite possibly one of my most craptastic years to date. But this is where the seeds of chaos were planted. You see, my twin Maddie started learning the Korean language around this time, and she was beginning to get into K-pop. When we'd take our ritualistic trips to Barnes & Noble and I'd be playing songs on Spotify, she'd occasionally request K-pop songs. There was a decent smattering of artists, like 17, Extraordinary Heroes, Woods, and Baekhyun to name a few. I ended up liking quite a bit of what I heard. Tweren't bad at all. But then there was the Barnes & Noble trip where she requested Stray Kids. Turns out it was the second request that got more of my attention. I also learned about 3 Racha and WoW, and I made Maddie this drawing for Christmas to make her laugh. And yet despite that, I still did not go any deeper down the Stray Kids rabbit hole. Until... At the time, Maddie enjoyed showing me K-pop music videos to see my often flabbergasted reactions to the visuals. When she told her friend who'd helped get her into K-pop about this, it was decided that I had to be brought over to her apartment for an ultimate K-pop night. Which leads us to this moment right here. The two had created a list of music videos from a variety of bands to play. I brought a notebook so I could rank each video based on its music and visuals. And boy... By the time we were done with the evening and I was laying in bed, there were still visions of Korean singers dancing in my head. Stray Kids were among the bands selected for the playlist. It started off good with Get Cool, which I absolutely adored, and ended off strong with Thunderous, a song and video that got a full 10 out of 10 rating from me. I even liked Up All Night, which I was warned would be weird, but I just found incredibly fun and charming. But even though I had much stronger reactions to Stray Kids that night, walking out of the apartment, it seemed more like, if anything, I was gonna get into Ateez. Which, don't get me wrong, I have been now. If we lived in the age when people thought Paganini's talent was due to a deal with the devil, I'd be thinking the same about Ateez. And yet, even after that K-pop night, I didn't really go any further into any of the bands, including Stray Kids. So if my twin didn't get me into Stray Kids, and her friend didn't get me into them either, then who did? Turns out, I've only myself to blame. I don't fully know how or why I suddenly nosedived into Stray Kids. It's even more embarrassing that it was my own damn fault. But either way, it happened. At some point in the first couple weeks of February, I revisited 1 or 2 of the Stray Kids videos I'd been shown. Then I started to look up the lyrics so I could understand better. I'm a big lyric person when it comes to music, by the way. And the more songs I looked up, the more I started really relating to a lot of them. I kept looking up more lyrics, and eventually I started watching more music videos. It was when I checked out the music video and lyrics for Maniac that I started to realize I was probably gonna like this group. I really loved the message of the song, and it was hitting me at a time when I was finally starting to experience some positive developments in my mental health. It was after revisiting Maniac that I started making more conscious efforts to seek out Stray Kids music and learn more about them. No, I don't know every last detail about each member. I haven't heard every single song. To be fair, there's a lot they've made, so you can't really blame me. And I don't have every single album they've ever made. Just 2. The first one was a copy of Maxident I chanced upon at Target. When Maddie heard that I'd passed on it, she immediately drove me back so I could get it, even though I felt embarrassed the whole way through. Hey there, editor ArtzDeeva here. In true Bilbo Baggins fashion, I got sick in the middle of making this video, so please excuse my voice. At this point in the video, I give a detached assessment of Stray Kids and their music, but I'd rather shrug off the restraint for a second and speak a little more passionately. I say as I speak in a very monotone voice. Whatever, I'm sick. Give me a break, okay? I love Stray Kids music because it's so inventive and full of unique flavor. They play around and do whatever they want, to the point where I stop thinking about them as just a K-pop band. And I love that there's a song for every mood, even the sad ones. There's so much emotional punch to those lyrics. And on top of that, I love how their music can make you feel stronger and more encouraged to just be yourself. As someone who struggles with anxiety and pure OCD, having assertive music like theirs helps me feel even more empowered. I also want to say that I deeply admire the band as a whole. While I don't know everything about their journey, I know they've had to work incredibly hard to get where they are now. Despite loneliness, struggle, and many different obstacles, each member has kept their passion and creativity alive to work together as part of a dedicated team, and they've fostered true support in each other. They are all so incredibly talented and wonderful, and I wish them all nothing but happiness and success as they continue to find their way. Some of you may be wondering, so, does she have a bias? I just don't do the whole bias thing, okay? Not saying it's wrong or anything, it just feels weird to talk about, at least for me. That being said, there was one member of Stray Kids that nudged me further down the rabbit hole. Because I'm a small content creator, the odds of Chan seeing this video are low, but never zero, knowing that he sees nearly everything made about him or Stray Kids. So on the off chance that he does see this, hey, how you doing? God damn it. Thanks for sitting through this mess, and sorry if this next bit is incredibly gushy. I'll try not to make it too embarrassing. Maddie had told me on and off about Channy's room before the K-pop night, and after I started listening to more Stray Kids, she reminded me of it again. So I started checking out highlights from previous lives, and eventually I started catching the lives as they happened on YouTube. It was nice to hear from a creative person in a relaxed, casual environment just talking about anything and sharing music. What also drew me to his lives were his honesty and openness. I didn't know what to expect initially, but it was very surprising to hear how personal he could get. The lives made me appreciate him on a more grounded level, and he just seemed like a fun, lovable, driven dude. It was also nice to hear Chan sing every once in a while too. I've already embarrassed myself once on the channel for being gobsmacked by his harmonies. I learned how to harmonize from a very young age, and I live for them when they're present in music. So hearing him not only be able to sing beautifully, but also harmonize so well, took my breath away. Harmonizing aside, his vocals overall are just so pleasant to hear. His voice manages to be both strong and smooth with a warmth underlying it, and that has also taken my breath away. Like this other moment when he was doing a live. Look, I've already embarrassed myself so much in this one video. Why quit now? Anyways, I'd better wrap up this bit before I make a further fool of myself. Suffice it to say, I greatly admire Chan. I wish him nothing but happiness and success, and if the opportunity ever presented itself, I would gladly spend an afternoon with him. Okay, moving on now. This pretty much catches us up to today. In the first few weeks, I was mad at how easily I'd fallen for Stray Kids. To be honest, I'm still a little mad. But I mean, what can you do when you're already sucked in? Basically, whether I planned for it or not, it's safe to say that Stray Kids has stuck onto me, and I think they're gonna stay. Wow, stay as in stay. Did not realize that unintentional pun till it was right in my face. Ugh, let's end the video right now before this gets any more embarrassing, okay? I'll be back with some non-K-pop videos in a little bit as soon as I get through this month's work schedule and build up a content buffer. But I at least hope you got some enjoyment out of this one. ArtzDeeva, over and out. I ended. Yes, quite possibly one of them. Blah. Maddie had told me on and off about stupid joints. Okay. The K-pop. Whoop. Yeah, that's not gonna sell, will it? Okay. So if my twin didn't get me. Breathe. Come on, girl, breathe. At the time, Maddie enjoyed showing me K-pop music videos to see my. Oh god, my joints! Ugh. When she told her friend who'd gotten into. When she told her friend who'd gotten in. Oh my god, I can't talk! It was well. Oh my. Stop the recording! And yet, even after that K-pop night, I didn't really go further in. Breathe, girl, god damn it. Ooh.